The alien ship drifted slowly through the empty space. Its light scanned the darkness, looking for anything interesting. Chief Zev Tool stood on the bridge, his 4 eyes blinking at different times. He was the leader of this science team, searching for old things from the past. "Sir, we found something," said one of his crew. The young alien's skin changed color with excitement. Zev Tool moved to the screen. "Show me." The screen lit up with an image. A ship, old and dark, floating alone in space. It was not like their ships. This one had straight lines and sharp edges. "Is that human?" asked Zev Tool. His voice was quiet with wonder. "Yes, sir. The computer says it's human-made. About 400 years old." Everyone on the bridge went silent. Humans were gone. They had disappeared hundreds of years ago in what history called the Great Collapse. All that was left were stories and a few old records. "Move closer," ordered Zev Tool. "Careful now." Their ship, the Explorer's Dream, glided toward the human vessel. As they got closer, they could see writing on the side of the old ship. "ESS Valiant," read the communications officer. "Earth spaceship Valiant." "It looks whole," said Zev Tool. "Not broken, just sleeping." He made his decision quickly. "We're going on board. Get the exploration team ready." 6 aliens in spacesuits floated from their ship to the human one. They found a door and, after some work, opened it. Their light showed a dark hallway inside. The air was still there, trapped inside for hundreds of years. "The ship kept itself alive somehow," said Zev Tool through his suit radio. "Amazing." They moved deeper into the ship. Everything was still in its place. Chairs at desks, cups left on tables. Like everyone had just stepped away for a moment. "Sir, I found the ship's control room," called one team member. They gathered in what humans had called the bridge. Zev Tool touched a screen, and to everyone's surprise, it lit up. "It still has power," he said. "After all this time?" They searched through the ship's computer. Most files were locked, but they found maps of the ship and crew information. "This says there were 50 humans on board," said the science officer. "Where are they?" They searched room by room. They found bedrooms, eating areas, exercise rooms. Everything was clean and tidy, but no humans. "Sir, you need to see this," came a call from below. In a special room deep in the ship, they found rows of large boxes. Each was the size of a sleeping bed but closed like a coffin. Lights blinked on their sides. "Cryo-sleep chambers," said the medical officer. They put themselves to sleep for the long journey. Zev Tool walked along the row. Each chamber had a small window on top. Inside each window was darkness. "Empty. All empty," said one team member. "All except..." At the end of the row, one chamber had a soft blue light. Zev Tool moved closer and looked through the window. Inside was a human. A female, the records would say. She lay still, her chest barely moving with shallow breaths. Her skin was pale. Her hair was long and dark, floating slightly in the liquid that filled the chamber. "One survivor," whispered Zev Tool. "One human." The team gathered around, staring in wonder. Humans were legends now, stories to tell children. And yet here was one, alive after all this time. "What do we do?" asked the medical officer. Central Station was the biggest space center in the Galactic Cooperative. Hundreds of ships came and went each day. But today was different. Today, everyone stopped to watch as the ancient human ship was pulled into the special research dock. Dr. Relic stood waiting, his thin hands shaking with excitement. He had studied human history for 30 years. Now he would see a real human. Not just bones or pictures, but a living human. "The ship is secure," said a worker. "You can go in now." Relic and his team entered the ESS Valiant. They walked straight to the cryo bay where the human woman slept. "Remarkable," said Relic as he touched the cryopod's surface. "The technology is still working after 4 centuries. He checked the control panel. "Her name is Olivia Foster. She was the captain, age 36 when she entered cryosleep." Relic's assistant, a young alien named Mira, looked through the glass at the human's face. "She looks peaceful, like she's just sleeping." She is sleeping, said Relic. The question is, can we wake her? They moved the cryopod to their lab. It took 12 hours to connect it to their systems. The whole time, Relic worried the ancient tech might fail, but it held strong. The human body is different from what our books say, noted Mira as she looked at the scans. Her bones are stronger, her muscles too. Relic nodded. Perhaps the books were wrong, or perhaps this human was special. News of the human spread quickly through Central Station. Important people came to see her. Science leaders, government officials, even the head of the council visited the lab. What do you plan to do with it? Asked the council head. Her, corrected Relic. Not it. And I plan to wake her up. The council head looked worried. Is that safe? Humans were known to be unpredictable. All the stories about violent humans are just stories, said Relic. Besides, she will be weak after so long asleep. She will need our help. After much talk, the council agreed. Relic could try to wake the human, but security would be high. No one knew what would happen. On the day of the waking, the lab was full of people. Doctors, guards, scientists, and officials all watched as Relic worked the controls of the cryopod. Beginning revival process, he said. The blue liquid in the pod began to drain away. Machines hummed. Lights changed from blue to yellow to green. Her body temperature is rising, said Mira, heart rate increasing. Relic watched the screens closely. Everything was happening as it should, but faster than expected. She's responding too quickly, he said. Her body should take hours to wake up, but it's happening in minutes. The room grew tense. Guards moved closer to the pod. Heart rate normal, said Mira, surprised. Brain activity spiking, she's already in a waking state. The pod's cover slid open with a hiss. Cold air rolled out into the room. Everyone held their breath. For a long moment, nothing happened. The human lay still, her chest now rising and falling with regular breaths. Her skin was no longer pale, but had a healthy color. Then, without warning, her eyes opened. Deep brown eyes. Alert. Aware. Not confused or frightened as they should be. The human looked around the room, taking in every face, every detail. Relic stepped forward. Hello, he said, using the human language English. My name is Dr. Relic. You are safe. The human woman sat up slowly. The movement was smooth, controlled, not like someone who had been asleep for centuries. Where am I? She asked. Her voice was clear and strong. You are at Central Station, said Relic. You've been asleep for a very long time. The human, Olivia Foster, looked at her hands, flexed, her fingers. Then she looked at the aliens surrounding her. How long? She asked. Relic hesitated, then told her the truth. About 400 years. Olivia didn't react the way they expected. She didn't cry or shout or panic. She simply nodded, as if confirming something she already knew. And my crew? She asked. The other pods? You were the only one we found alive, said Relic gently. Now something changed in her eyes. A flash of emotion. Pain, perhaps, or anger. But it was quickly controlled. I see, she said. Then she stood. Up. We take the ship, said Zevtul. We take it back to Central Station. The council will want to see this. He looked down at the sleeping human again. According to the label on the chamber, her name was Olivia Foster, commander of the ESS Valiant. They'll want to see her, he added. No one argued. This was the find of a lifetime. A human ship was valuable. Enough? But a living human? That was beyond price. As they prepared to tow the ESS Valiant back to Central Station, none of them knew what would happen when those human eyes finally opened. Everyone in the room stepped back when Olivia stood up. The guards raised their weapons slightly. No one had expected her to be able to stand so soon. Please, you should rest, said Dr. Relic, moving toward her with his hands out. Your muscles need time to... He stopped talking when she took a step forward. Then another. She walked across the room as if she had been awake for hours, not minutes. Impossible, whispered Mira. She shouldn't be able to walk yet. Olivia looked at the aliens around her. They were tall and thin with gray-blue skin. They had 4 eyes, 2 large ones and 2 small ones above them. They looked nothing like humans, but she showed no fear. "You said Central Station," she said to Relic. "Is that part of the Alliance?" Relic blinked all 4 eyes. "Alliance? No. This is the Galactic Cooperative, the Human Alliance. Ended long ago." Olivia's face stayed calm, but her hands made fists at her sides. "Tell me what happened." They moved to a meeting room. Olivia sat at a table while Relic showed her images on a screen. Pictures of Earth, of wars, of the Great Collapse when, according to their history, humans had destroyed themselves. "So Earth is gone," she said flatly, "and all human colonies too." "Yes," said Relic. "As far as we know, you are the last human alive." Olivia shook her head. "No, that's not possible. There were other ships like the Valiant, other missions, and Colony 7 was already established when we left." "Colony 7? Relic looked confused. "Our records show no such place." "Your records are wrong then," said Olivia. She stood again and walked to the window. Outside, alien ships moved between the stars, a world she didn't know. "I need to see my ship." "That's not possible right now," said a new voice. A tall alien in a black uniform entered the room. He had badges on his chest showing high rank. "I am Security Chief Vorn," he said. "You are a valuable historical find, but also an unknown risk. You will stay here for now." Olivia turned to look at him. Her eyes were hard. "I'm not a museum piece." "Of course not," said Relic quickly. "You're our guest. We just need to make sure you're healthy after your long sleep." More aliens came with tests and questions. They took samples of her blood. They scanned her body. They asked her about Earth, about human history, about her mission. Olivia answered some questions, but not all. She watched everything they did. She listened to what they said to each other when they thought she couldn't understand. That night they gave her a room with a bed, food, and clean clothes. 2 guards stood outside her door. "For your protection," Relic had said. But Olivia knew better. When she was alone, she sat on the edge of the bed and closed her eyes. In her mind, she saw her ship, her crew. Earth as it once was, blue and green and alive. "They're wrong," she whispered to herself. "They have to be wrong." She looked at her hands, turned them over. The aliens were amazed at how quickly she had recovered, but they didn't know the truth. They didn't know what she really was. Olivia went to the small sink in her room and drank some water. Then she caught her reflection in the mirror. Her face looked the same as the day she entered the cryopod. But her eyes held 400 years of lost time. "I will find out what really happened." For 3 days, Olivia followed their rules. She took their tests. She answered their questions. She ate their food, which tasted nothing like Earth food but kept her strong. Dr. Relic was with her most of the time. He seemed truly interested in her, not just as a specimen, but as a person. He told her about the current state of the galaxy, about the many alien races that made up the Galactic Cooperative. "I'm surprised you can understand our language so well," Relic said on the 4th day. "I'm a fast learner," Olivia replied. She didn't tell him about the translator chip in her brain. Another thing they hadn't found in their scans, they were in a large room that the aliens used for physical tests. Olivia had been running on a machine that measured her speed and strength. "Your physical abilities are unusual," said Relic, looking at his data pad. "According to our records, humans were not this strong." Olivia stepped off the running machine. She wasn't even breathing hard. "Maybe your records are wrong, or maybe I'm special." Before Relic could answer, an alarm started to sound. Red lights flashed in the hallway. "What's happening?" asked Olivia. "I don't know." Relic moved to the door. "Stay here." As soon as he left the room, Olivia went to the computer terminal. The aliens had been careful not to let her use their technology, but now no one was watching. She placed her hand on the screen and closed her eyes. In her mind, she connected to the system. This was another secret the aliens didn't know. Humans like her could connect directly to computers. Through the system, she saw what was happening. There had been an accident in one of the labs. A power failure had caused a collapse. People were trapped. The door opened again. Relic rushed, and clearly upset. "I have to go," he said. "There's been an accident in Lab 6. My assistant Mira is trapped under fallen equipment." "I'll help," said Olivia. "No, it's too dangerous. The room is full of toxic gas. Our emergency teams are—" But Olivia was already moving past him. She ran down the hallway toward the accident. Relic called after her, but she didn't stop. When she reached Lab 6, the scene was chaos. Aliens in protective suits were trying to enter, but the door was jammed. Inside, through the window, Olivia could see several aliens on the floor. One was pinned under a large metal cabinet. Without hesitation, Olivia pushed past the emergency team. She hit the door with her shoulder. It dented but didn't open. She hit it again, harder. The metal door broke open. "Stop, the air is toxic," someone shouted. Olivia ignored them. She held her breath and entered the room. The gas was thick and green. She moved quickly to where Mira was trapped. The cabinet was heavy, designed to hold dangerous materials. No normal human could lift it, but Olivia wasn't normal. She bent down, got her hands under the edge of the cabinet and lifted. The metal groaned. Her muscles strained, but the cabinet moved. With a final push, she lifted it enough for Mira to crawl free. Then she picked up another injured alien and carried both of them out of the room. In the hallway, she finally took a breath. The emergency team stared at her in shock. "How did you do that?" asked one. "How are you alive? That gas kills in seconds," said another. Olivia didn't answer. She helped the injured aliens to the medical team that had arrived. Dr. Relic was watching her with new eyes. "That cabinet weighs over 500 kilos, he said quietly. "And that gas? It should have killed you." "I told you," said Olivia. "Maybe I'm special." But she knew the truth was more complicated. All humans from her time were special by the aliens' standards. They had been enhanced, made stronger, faster, smarter. It was necessary for deep space exploration, and now the aliens knew. She could see the mixture of fear and wonder in their eyes. "Take me to my ship," she said to Relic. "There are things I need to check." This time, no one argued with her. "Pinned," she promised her reflection. "And if there are other humans out there, I will find them too." She heard the guards talking outside her door. They were discussing her, wondering what to do with the human specimen. Olivia smiled slightly. They thought she was just a relic from the past, a leftover piece of a dead species. They had no idea what she was capable of. She would show them, soon enough. But first she needed to learn more. About this new galaxy, about what had really happened to her people, and most importantly, about how to get back to her ship. 2 armed guards went with Olivia and Dr. Relic to the ESS Valiant. Security Chief Vorn walked behind them, watching Olivia closely. He still did not trust her. "Your ship has been searched thoroughly," said Vorn. "We found nothing dangerous." Olivia said nothing. She knew better. When they reached the Valiant, Olivia placed her hand on the outside door panel. It lit up with a blue light, scanning her palm. "Welcome back, Commander Foster," said a soft voice from the ship. The aliens jumped, back in surprise. "The ship's computer is still active?" asked Relic, his eyes wide. "Of course," said Olivia. "She was just waiting for me." The door opened and Olivia stepped inside. The lights came on automatically, brighter than when the aliens had explored the ship. The air system hummed to life. "Ship, full systems check," ordered Olivia. "Running." "Systems check," replied the ship's voice. "All primary systems functioning at 89% capacity. Secondary systems at 76% capacity. Weapon systems locked." "Weapon systems," said Vorn sharply. "Your ship has weapons?" Olivia ignored him. She walked through the halls of her ship with purpose. The aliens hurried to keep up. In the ship's control room, Olivia sat in the captain's chair. Screens lit up around her. Data scrolled across them, too fast for the aliens to read. "Ship, show me the last mission log," she said. A video appeared on the main screen. It showed Olivia looking exactly the same, recording a message. "Captain's log, final entry," said the Olivia in the video. "We've lost contact with Earth and all colonies. Something is wrong. Very wrong. We've changed course to investigate Colony 7, but our fuel is low. The crew will enter cryosleep to conserve resources. I'll stay awake as long as possible." The video ended. Olivia's face was hard as stone. "Play the emergency beacon record," she said. Another video started. This one showed Earth from space. At first, everything looked normal. Then flashes of light appeared on the surface. "Nuclear war," whispered Relic. "Just as our history says." "No," said Olivia. "Those aren't nuclear explosions. They're too precise, too controlled." The video zoomed in. Strange ships hovered over Earth's cities. Beams of light shot down from them. "Alien ships," said Olivia. "Earth wasn't destroyed by humans. It was attacked." The aliens looked at each other in shock. "That's impossible," said Vorn. "Our records clearly state—" "Your records are lies," said Olivia. She stood up from her chair. "Ship, show Colony 7 location." A star map appeared. A small dot blinked far from Earth. "That's in restricted space now," said Vorn. "No one goes there." "Why is it restricted?" asked Olivia. No one answered. But their silence told her everything. "Ship, prepare for launch," said Olivia. The control room hummed with power. More lights came on. The engines began to warm up. "You can't leave," said Vorn. He drew his weapon. "This ship is cooperative property now." The guards raised their weapons too. Olivia looked at them calmly. "This ship," she said slowly, "belongs to humanity. And I'm taking it back." She pressed a button on her chair. Suddenly a field of energy appeared around her. The aliens fired their weapons, but the energy beams hit the field and disappeared. "Please leave my ship," said Olivia. "I don't want to hurt anyone." "All systems ready for launch," said the ship's voice. Vorn tried to fire again. This time, the ship responded. A pulse of energy knocked the weapons from the aliens' hands. "Last." "Warning," said Olivia. "Leave now." Dr. Relic touched Vorn's arm. "We should go." "She can't just take the ship," said Vorn. "The Council will never allow it." Olivia smiled slightly. "I'm not asking permission." The ship's engines roared to life. The floor vibrated beneath alarms, screamed throughout Central Station as the ESS Valiant broke free from its docking clamps. The old human ship glowed with power that had been hidden during its long sleep. "Stop that ship!" shouted Vorn into his communicator. "Use the station's defense systems." On the bridge of the Valiant, Olivia worked quickly. Her hands moved over the controls with practiced ease. The ship responded to her touch like an old friend. "Ship, activate shields," she said. "Shields active," replied the ship's voice. "Warning, station weapons are targeting us." Outside, large gun turrets turned toward the Valiant. Energy beams shot out, hitting the ship's shields. The shields glowed blue but held strong. "Impressive," said Olivia. "Ship, plot course to Colony 7. Course plotted. Warning, 6 pursuit vessels launching." Olivia looked at the screen. 6 sleek alien ships were leaving their docks. They were small but looked fast, probably fighter ships. "Ship, can we outrun them?" "Negative, their top speed exceeds our standard engines." Olivia smiled. "Then we won't use standard engines. Activate jump drive." "Jump drive activated. Ready on your command." The station's communication system buzzed. Dr. Relic's voice came through. "Commander Foster, please reconsider," he said. "If you return the ship now, we can talk about this. I believe your story about Earth. I want to help you." "I appreciate that, Doctor," said Olivia. "But I need to find out what happened to my people. Your leaders are hiding something about Colony 7. The Council will hunt you down," warned Vorn's voice. "That ship is property of the Galactic Cooperative now." "This ship," said Olivia firmly, "was built by human hands. It belongs to humanity. And I'm the last human around, so that makes it mine. She cut off the communication. The pursuit ships were getting closer. Ship engage jump drive in 3, 2, 1. The space around the Valiant seemed to bend. Stars stretched into lines. Then the ship vanished in a flash of light. Inside the ship, Olivia felt the familiar pull of the jump. Her body pressed back into her chair as the Valiant tore through space faster than light. On Central Station, the aliens stared at their screens in disbelief. "Where did it go?" asked Vorn. "Our sensors show nothing." "It's impossible," said a technician. "No ship can disappear like that." Dr. Relic watched the empty space where the Valiant had been. She said it was a jump drive, some kind of advanced faster-than-light technology. "That technology doesn't exist," said Vorn. "It does now," replied Relic quietly. Across the galaxy, the Valiant appeared near a small red star. Olivia checked her location. "Ship, how long until we reach Colony 7? "At current speed, 2 hours and 17 minutes. Olivia leaned back in her chair. For the first time since waking up, she felt at home. She was back in her ship, on a mission. This was what she was made for. She thought about the aliens on Central Station. They had treated her well for the most part, especially Dr. Relic, but they had lied about human history, or maybe they believed the lies they had been told. Ship, scanned for pursuit vessels. No vessels detected in range. However, a general alert has been transmitted throughout the cooperative. All ships have been ordered to intercept the Valiant if spotted. Olivia nodded. She had expected that. "Keep scanning. Let me know if anything approaches." As the ship flew through space, Olivia went to her old quarters. Everything was exactly as she had left it. Pictures on the wall showed Earth as it once was. Green forests, blue oceans, busy cities. She touched a picture of her crew. 50 men and women, the best Earth had to offer. Where were they now? Had they all died in their sleep? Or had something else happened? "I'll find out," she promised the faces in the picture. "And if there are humans left anywhere, I'll find them too." The ship continued its journey toward Colony 7 and the truth that waited there, air feet. 5 minutes to launch, said the ship. The aliens looked at each other. Then, without another word, they ran for the exit. Only Dr. Relic paused at the hour. "Where will you go?" he asked. "To find the truth," said Olivia. "And to find my people." The door closed between them. Colony 7 should have been a thriving human settlement. Instead, when the ESS Valiant dropped out of jump space, Olivia saw only a small mining outpost floating near a dusty planet. "Ship, scan the planet and the outpost," said Olivia. "Scanning. Planet is uninhabited. Mining outpost contains approximately 200 life forms, not human." Olivia frowned. According to the records on her ship, Colony 7 had been home to 10,000 humans. Where had they gone? She moved the Valiant closer to the outpost but stayed far enough away to avoid detection. Then she used the ship's advanced scanners to look deeper. "Scan below the planet's surface," she ordered. The ship was quiet for a moment. Then, underground structure detected. Large facility extending 2 miles beneath the surface. Life signs detected. Olivia sat up straighter. Human life signs? Unable to confirm species from this distance, she had to get closer. But if she landed on the planet, the aliens at the mining outpost would surely see her ship. "Ship, activate stealth systems." "Stealth systems activated. We are now invisible to standard scanners." Olivia guided the Valiant around the far side of the planet, away from the mining outpost. She found a flat area and landed the ship gently on the dusty surface. "Keep all systems running," she told the ship. "Be ready to leave quickly if needed." She went to her quarters and changed into her mission suit. It was black and fit her body closely. It would protect her from the planet's thin atmosphere and cold temperature. She also took a small weapon, just in case. Using a smaller craft from the Valiant's bay, Olivia flew low over the planet's surface to the location of the underground structure. There were no buildings above ground, only a small metal door in the side of a hill. She landed her craft behind some rocks and approached the door on foot. It was locked with a security system she didn't recognize. But that didn't stop her. She placed her hand on the panel and used her connection ability to bypass the lock. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside was a long hallway leading down. Lights came on automatically as she entered. Olivia moved quietly, listening for any sound. The hallway seemed empty. She followed it down into the planet's depths. After walking for 10 minutes, she came to another door, larger than the first. This door had a window. When Olivia looked through it, her heart stopped. Beyond the door was an enormous chamber filled with rows and rows of cryopods, just like the ones on her ship. And in each pod was a human, thousands of them, men, women, some even looked like children, all in deep sleep. "My God," whispered Olivia. She found the control panel and opened the door. The room was cold, kept that way for the sleepers. Olivia walked slowly between the rows of pods, looking at the faces of her people. Near the center of the room was a control station. Olivia went to it and placed her hands on the screen. Information flooded into her mind through her connection ability. These were not just any humans. These were the people from Colony 7. They had been here, hidden underground for hundreds of years, kept in sleep by the aliens who claimed humans were extinct. But why? What purpose did it serve to hide humans away like this? The answer came when she accessed deeper files. The humans were being kept as workers. They were woken up a few at a time, made to work in dangerous conditions that aliens couldn't survive, then put back to sleep. Humans weren't extinct. They were slaves. As Olivia processed this horrible truth, she heard a noise behind her. She turned quickly, raising her weapon. A man stood there, a human man, awake and watching her. He wore a simple gray uniform and looked as surprised to see her as she was to see him. "Who are you?" he asked in English. His voice was rough from lack of use. "My name is Olivia Foster. I'm the captain of the ESS Valiant." The man's eyes widened. The Valiant. Olivia worked quickly with Adam's help. They woke more humans from their long sleep. First 10, then 50, then 100. Each person was confused at first, but Adam explained the situation while Olivia kept working. "Ship, can you hear me?" Olivia spoke into her communicator. "Yes, Commander," came the reply. "I need you to come to my location. There are thousands of humans here. We need to get them out." "Understood. On my way. Warning. 5 cooperative ships have entered the system." Olivia's face hardened. "They found us faster than I expected." The awakened humans gathered around her. They wore simple gray uniforms. Most were thin and pale from their long sleep, but their eyes showed strength and determination. "What's the plan?" asked a woman named Kate. "We're leaving," said Olivia. "All of us. My ship is coming, but it can't take everyone at once. We'll need to use the mining ships too." "The aliens won't just let us go," said Adam. "I know," Olivia replied. "That's why we need to fight." She showed them to a locked room she had discovered. Inside were weapons, simple but effective. The humans armed themselves. Above ground, the Valiant landed near the entrance to the underground facility. Its ramp lowered. "Ship, begin warming up the cryobays," ordered Olivia. "Some of these people will need to sleep for the journey." The first group of humans moved toward the Valiant. But before they reached it, the sky filled with light as 5 cooperative ships descended through the atmosphere. The largest ship landed nearby. From it came Security Chief Vorn, Dr. Relic, and 20 armed guards. "Commander Foster," called Vorn through a speaker. "Surrender the human specimens and your ship immediately." Olivia stepped forward, standing between her people and the aliens. "These are not specimens," she said loudly. "They are human beings, and they're coming with me." "You don't understand," said Dr. Relic, moving closer. "This facility is one of many. There are millions of humans kept throughout cooperative space." This news shocked Olivia, but she didn't show it. "All the more reason to free them." "It's not that simple," said Relic. "Humans have been used for dangerous work for centuries. Many planets depend on your kind. The cooperative would fall apart without human labor. That's called slavery, said Olivia coldly. And it ends today. Vorn raised his hand and his guards aimed their weapons. We can't let you leave, he said. But before anyone could fire, a new ship appeared in the sky. It was different from the others, older and bearing human markings. This is Commander Alan Stone of the Human Resistance, came a voice over all communicators. Stand down, cooperative forces. More ships appeared, dozens of them surrounding the cooperative vessels. Olivia couldn't believe her eyes. The Resistance? There are free humans. The new ship landed and a man walked out. He wore a uniform similar to Olivia's but weathered, with age. We've been fighting from the shadows for generations, said Commander Stone as he approached. Hidden colonies, stolen ships. We've been looking for this facility for years. He looked at Olivia with respect. When we heard about a human captain awakening after centuries and stealing back an ancient ship, we knew it was time to act. Vorn and his guards lowered their weapons, outnumbered by the human ships. This isn't over, said Vorn. You're right, said Olivia. It's just beginning. In the days that followed, humans awakened across the galaxy. The truth spread quickly through cooperative space. Humans were not extinct. They had been kept as slaves, hidden from history. The Galactic Council was forced to meet with human leaders. Old records were opened, the real history was revealed. Earth had not destroyed itself. It had been attacked, its people taken and scattered across the stars. On the bridge of the Valiant, Olivia watched as thousands of humans boarded ships bound for a new planet they would call their own. What will we do now? Asked Adam, standing. Beside her, Olivia looked out at the stars. We rebuild, we remember, and we make sure this never happens again. The human ships rose into space, leaving the dusty planet behind. At their head flew the ESS Valiant, a relic no longer forgotten, led by a captain whose open eyes had changed the galaxy forever. That ship was lost centuries ago. Not lost, said Olivia. Just sleeping. Like all of you. She gestured at the pods around them. What's your name? Adam Miller, he said. I'm from Colony 7, or I was before they brought us here. How long have you been awake? They wake about 20 of us at a time. We work 2-month shifts, then back to sleep. I've been awake for 3 weeks this time. Olivia stepped closer, to him. Adam, I'm going to get everyone out of here. I'm going to free our people. For the first time, hope showed in Adam's tired eyes.